Well, good morning, everyone. How is everybody faring after the weekend? Or is everybody on vacation today? Columbus Day. I'm wondering whether or not people are out of town, took advantage of the 3-day weekend, or are simply recovering from the weekend. Who knows? Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Sam. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty darn well. What's the latest in Kansas today?
Well, the weekly visitor for my mom showed up early, so I'm a little out of sorts for getting my my show started on time, sir. So
Well, you're fine. Whatever we got to do. No big deal. Got the
how was your?
hostages being released. We've got President Trump on Air Force One being escorted through Egyptian airspace with Egyptian F 16s. I mean, wow. There's a heck of a lot going on right now.
Pretty crazy stuff, man.
I know. Isn't that the truth? My goodness. Let's see. Do we have Day today? I wonder. Let's see if he's here.
I don't. Yep, there he is.
I got him.
I beat you to it.
All right. Cool. Well, look who's here.
Morning, guys.
Mega Dave.
What's happening?
What are you in right now?
Combine.
Oh, you are. It looks different today for some reason.
Nope, that's the beans coming in behind me and finishing up this. We got about 22 acres left, so
That's it?
soybeans, and we flip back over to corn. So,
Oh, okay. Overall, you have 1,200 acres, right?
Yep.
And how many have you got harvested so far?
We are about done, a little over 800 right now. So
Oh,
we're getting closer.
so you're well over the halfway mark.
Yep,
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
going good. I talked to James.
Uh-huh.
He said they're hammering down. He will be lurking in the background.
Uh-huh.
But sounds like they're going to have some rain delays, so he sounds like he might be back with us for a few more days this week. So
Oh, wonderful. I hope so.
Yeah.
Everybody misses him, myself included.
yeah, his services and stuff are really bad. So he said there's no point to fight it.
Yeah, no, I get it. 100% I get it. Well, let's say some good mornings here. David Morales over on YouTube. Good morning, David. Lee is here on TikTok. Rick Sr., Joy, Mary Ann Thompson, Martin's WB. Good morning, Martin. Beaver from Colorado Springs. Good morning, Beaver. Wendy, happy Manic Monday, Wendy says. I know, right? Brian, good morning. Brian, AJMCSJ, good morning. Dana Mackey, Sherry from East Tennessee. Hey, Mr. Alton's here. Good morning, Mr. Alton. And Tanya Moonsheiber. Good morning, Tanya. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, let's see here. Jan Lovin being grandma's here. Wendy, Kevin Kiesler. Crystal Zeski is here. Good morning, Crystal. Yeah, I'm not sure how many people we're going to have today. I'm guessing that it is a holiday, right? I mean, it's Columbus Day.
3-day weekend for some, not for others. I mean, I think it just depends.
Yeah, the traffic this morning didn't look all that much lighter than normal, so who knows?
Yeah, it's
Well-
good to hear. It's good to hear the indigenous people's holiday is now no longer.
Isn't that the truth? My goodness. What an absolute joke. Let's see here. Diva53 is here. Lori is here. Good morning, Towie. All right. Well, let's see here, guys. Alex, are you able to do indices or?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. You said you were kind of out of sorts today, so I wasn't sure.
I just didn't have all my stuff pulled up ready to go. So looking at the World Wide Webs today and what we've got going on, lots of things on the move up for a day off. S&P 500 is up 99 points to 6,652. The Dow is up 579 to 46,059. The NASDAQ is up 453 to 22,657. John Gwynn's going to be a mighty yummy steak. Gold up to $4,120. That's a pretty good climb since we started that bet what, last week, maybe $100 in a week. I should have a steak in another 5-6 weeks, maybe.
And John is in the chat, so John, be prepared.
I know. Silver sitting up $1.51 per ounce at $51.95, pushing the $52 mark. Looking at crude oil sitting at $59.49 a barrel. Looking at the crypto markets, we took a bath over the weekend. It was one of the largest sell-offs, liquidations we've seen in a very, 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 very long time. But
yeah, and apparently, Alex, it was bigger than the COVID shutdown, and it was the largest one. It was 19 billion apparently.
Yeah, it was a big dump. So what are they doing to pull it down? Why? I mean, we'll see. Bitcoin has recovered back up 1.4% at 114,000. Ethereum up 2.8% at 4,143. XRP has rebounded from a low of 180 back up 4% to $2.59. Cardano up 5% to 72 cents. Stellar Lumens XLM is up 2% to 35. HBAR has recovered 4% back up to 19. There is only one drop for today, and it's a screenshot. House Intelligence Committee to hold virtual open hearing on misinformation and conspiracy theories online October 15th, 2020. So this was an announcement being made that they were going to hold this. The drop is actually from October 13th. What happens when too many people don't buy what they're selling? What happens when too many people wake up? What happens when they lose control of the digital battlefield? Mr. Russia collusion pusher himself now involved knowingly?
Exactly. You know, when you talked about XRP dumping on Friday, I had a friend of mine, a lifelong friend of mine by the name of Grant, called me and he's all, why didn't you tell me that XRP dumped to $1.50 or whatever it was? And I said, I didn't even know. I had no idea. I went and looked and I said, oh man, you're right. It did happen that way. I was unaware. So yeah,
buddy of mine messaged me. He's like, so should I wait until before opening to buy the dip? It's sitting at 240 right now, 220. I was like, I don't know. I bought the dip at 190. What are you talking about?
Exactly. I didn't even see it. It took me by surprise. All right, let's see here.
That's what alerts are for.
Yeah, I know. I had to set that up. Oh, and I think I was able to figure out the subscription issue of being able to flip to. I got this message from TikTok. I'll check it here in a minute, but I think I figured it out. We'll see. Okay. Let's see here. Benji1959 just joined us. Hey, Ben. Jan Levin being grandma said Columbus Day Monday is back. Isn't that the truth? Grand rising to you too, Mama Bear. Scratch 65 and just the mess from Texas here. And Teresa, oh, wow, Tim Shaw, 707. Hey, Tim, Chris Romano. Everybody's piling in. Extreme Diecast is here. Hey, Extreme Wendy J. Good morning, Wendy J. Lord Bullion is here as well. I don't know why I like that name so much, Lord Bullion. Just kind of cracks me up. All right, let's see. Let's see. Dave, do we have something today?
Yes, sir. Welcome, everybody, from Eastern Iowa soybean field. Just finishing up our stuff on the markets. Corn is down 1 to 2. Soybeans are even across the board. Wheat is up 2 to 5. Cattle is about a 0.04% up, and hogs are 0.3% up. So coming back from their Friday hits and building back up. So the Chinese threat is kind of dwindling a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I think that was done on purpose for some reason. I don't know why, but President Trump's been taking some heat in terms of what he's been doing or not doing with the farmers. So you better get on the stick here right quick.
And can you guys explain to me why that thing would hurt the crypto side of it. Like it didn't make much sense to me on that side.
Well,
Like
I
it
think.
shouldn't have affected it the way it did.
Well,
I don't think it had any. I think they're two separate issues, maybe tied together in some weird way, but I don't think one is the result of the other now.
well, and also with silver at the price that it's at today, and gold at the price that it's at, they are. My assumption is they are printing money like crazy to get people, to get the banks out of the short positions that they have with silver. Now, are they going to be able to print that much? I mean, this is all speculation on my part, but it seems to make sense. And if they're, what's that, Dave?
That's what I was going to say, Sam. Watch some major banks. I think it's going to be coming back in a narrative real quick. Like
I think you're right. I think you're right. We'll have to see how it plays out, but yeah, I think you're right, Dave. All right, let's see here. Deb, good afternoon from Central Massachusetts. Baby girl is here. Good morning, baby girl. Vicky Veronica is here. Hey, Vicky. Scotty Too Hottie just showed up. Hey, Scotty. Ooh, nice 3D glasses. Brian said Trump's 34 felony counts are gone from what I heard. Now, I haven't heard that, but at some point, I'm sure they will be. Yes, Brian and Mama Bear. I see the squirrels in the chat. Let's see. Tina Kelly's over here on YouTube. Cindy Klusmeyer on YouTube. Sue Bowen on YouTube. Skippy is here. He said it's snowing in Montana today. Interesting. Ty Nutter on Facebook said, Sam, could you please unblock me on TikTok? I can't imagine that I blocked you, Ty, but if you would, send me a message on Facebook and let me know what your username is on, it's Nut. I mean, I'll look and see, but I don't think I blocked you. I'll double check. And Kathleen Paschke's here on Facebook. Ozzy Crosby over on YouTube. Good morning, all.
James was probably on a tear.
It could have been, yeah. Who knows with James? And I hope you heard that in the background, James. That's creeping in the background, as Lee would say.
Creeper.
All right, well, let's get into some stories here. First up, now, there was a lot of video that came out over the weekend showing tens of thousands of Palestinians returning to northern Gaza. This is after the ceasefire took place. Now, so much of what we're seeing, in my opinion, is theater. Now, I don't know whether this was theater or not, but it would make sense to me that if, in fact, the ceasefire is in place, which we believe it is, that they would be returning home. Alex, what do you make of it?
Yes, that makes sense. It's an interesting dynamic what we're watching with him being over there and now over into Egypt. I've been watching all morning. It's something's not. I mean, we talk about all the time staged and kayfabe and all that, but something else is going on. I haven't exactly been able to put my finger on it, but with the peace deals, with the hostages, like that's all wonderful stuff. But it's just I don't know. We'll just give it the 48-hour rule, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something doesn't add up. Dave, what do you think?
Well, kind of to bring it to light, what are they returning to? Have you seen pictures of Gaza?
Well, and how do we know when they were actually taken? Right?
Yeah. Right. As of what we're seeing out of there is literally nothing left to go back to besides rubble for the most part.
Yeah, at least that's what we're being told. I have never been there. I don't know what it looked like before. I don't look like what it looks like now, but it's suspicious to say the least.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Scotty Too Hottie said, natural clouds in California, no chemtrails. Yeah, Scotty, I noticed that myself. There haven't been for several weeks, at least here in Southern California. Hey, Lisa Maria showed up. Hey, Lisa, glad you made it here. Hey, Taz Nemo is here. I was on Taz's show not long ago. Said it's called blackmail. I'm not sure what. Oh, she said that Israel has a lot on Trump. I don't think I agree with that. I think it's the other way around. But again, that's just my opinion. Let's see. Dave Hobson said, no TikTok, found you guys on YouTube. Welcome, Dave. Glad you made it. Ozzy Crosby on YouTube said, never had Facebook, never had Twitter or TikTok, and never will. A diehard YouTuber. That's cool. Glad you made it, though, Ozzy. Cindy K said, many say it's all Photoshop. Well, I think that there is a lot of that going on, and that's just my opinion. But if you look at so many other things that have happened in the last several years, they just don't line up. Now, whether or not that's the case, time will tell. All right, let's move on. So President Putin came out and point blank said that the Nobel Peace Prize has completely lost its credibility after failing to award it to President Trump. Now, it's interesting that the ceasefire takes place the day before that they announce the Nobel Peace Prize. That in and of itself is suspicious. And then for them to give it to somebody else, come on, man, it just doesn't add up. Dave, what do you think?
And who said that? The guy that Trump's fighting with? President Putin? Is that correct?
Right.
Correct.
It's like Elon and Trump are fighting. Oh wait, Putin and Trump are fighting. Oh wait, he should win the Peace Prize, and it's all theater. It's all put out in front.
Yeah, exactly. Alex?
I mean, we're saying that the Nobel Peace Prize lost its credibility because it didn't give it to Trump, but I say it lost its credibility because they gave it to somebody that didn't deserve it back a few years ago. So the whole thing has been a popularity contest instead of something that actually means anything anymore. So it was nice of the young lady that received it to dedicate it to Trump, though. I mean, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Lord Bullion said there was no chemtrails in Georgia either. Martini times here and Pure Blood Holly Johns. Let's see here. Wow, what is that? Hey, Charlie, thank you for the autumn tree. That was cool. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Hey, B. Bethany just showed up. And B. Bethany, like Martin's WB, they are diligent about bringing new products to you guys. Go over and give them a follow. B. Bethany and Martin's WB. They do a great job. They go through the products. They evaluate them before they bring them on. I think they're doing a great job. Jess Perry 16 said, everything is weird right now from the government, national and local to TikTok. Exactly. It's very true. There's weird stuff going on. I Speak 17 said, my roosters are fighting. Well, that's not good. You might want to calm them down. Hey, Hits just showed up. Good morning, Hitesh. Glad you could make it, brother.
His roosters and Sam's squirrels are fighting.
Yeah, exactly. I Stand With Mexico is here. Hey, Mr. Jeff PAP. Hey, Jeff, haven't seen you in a while. Kimmer, good morning, Kimmer. Yes, Mama Bear, I see the squirrels. Bonnie Darling on Facebook said, Trump freed Palestine. Exactly. No matter what circumstances surround it, the reality is peace is the prize, as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's see here. Next up on the hit list, we have, I already did that one. That was weird. The Oregon National Guard said that his soldiers would protect the protesters, not the federal ICE agents. This is a direct defiance of Trump's orders, and it's the most open confrontation between the military and the federal government since the Civil War, when General Robert E. Lee sided with the Confederacy. What do you guys think? Kayfabe, real deal? I mean, I don't think this is going to age well. Alex?
I agree. It's not going to age well. The narratives that are out there it's just lunacy. I mean, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Dave?
I know what the point spreads are going to be on that pick.
Exactly.
I'm not taking that bet, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, PJ Party Peggy's here. She said, hi, only on for a few minutes. Well, at least you made it, Peggy. Glad you made it. Wendy said that Sam squirreled himself. That happens more often than you would know. Did you know, Wendy? I'm telling you. Hey, Prep Man made it. Hey, Prep Man. Glad you could make it, brother. All right, let's see here. Moving on. Ooh, what was that? Blooming ribbons. That was cool. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, I know. And here, I'm sure the squirrels are about to hit the chat here. I know. 307 Patriots here from Wyoming. Simon just showed up. Hey, Simon, glad you could make it, brother. Let's see here. Let's move on. We have, this is, of course, Benji 1959 now putting the squirrels in the chat, and Special K 765. And Mama Bear's just laughing at me. Thanks a lot, Mama Bear. Jeez. Turn your back for 1 second, you make one mistake, and they jump all over you. That's all right. I can take it. Oh,
you can dish it too.
Yeah, I know. Believe me. David Morales over on YouTube said 2 major peace summit meetings on one day for a 79-year-old. That's proof enough for the commitment to peace. Very well stated, David. Very well stated. Mama Bear said, I'm laughing. What's that?
The dude doesn't sleep.
I know, man. That brings up a whole nother subject that we're not going to get into. But Mama Bear said, I'm laughing at it all. I know, me too. I'm having trouble keeping a straight face today. Oh, gosh. Okay, so this next story. This is a big deal, you guys. Pfizer left COVID-19 vaccine data out of the submissions to the FDA. Now, let's not forget that the entire vaccines were released under what's called a UAE, a emergency use authorization, or EUA. I don't know if I got that right, but it was an emergency use authorization, which means that essentially they didn't have to go through clinical trials. It was just released. So now, what did they want, Alex? Pfizer wanted 75 years before they were going to release the information or something ridiculous. And now it's all coming out. How do you see this playing out, Alex? Are we going to see fraud vitiating everything? Big Pharma paying the price? What do you think?
I mean, it's not fraud. It's that M word for unaliving.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to withhold results and information, one is suspect, especially when you're dealing with the health of humanity. But to knowingly move forward like that, yeah, it's a Nuremberg 2.0, brother.
Right. And in the drops, how many times did Q say knowingly? Multiple times. And I think that can be applied to several different subjects, not just the jabs.
Yeah.
Dave, any comment?
Well, I'm happy that it's coming out front, and then it's going to open on Dr. Fauci and everything else. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, and it's coming, in my opinion. Hey, Kissing Bandit and Lipstick just made it. Good morning, Bandit. Classy 476 said, good morning, Kissing Bandit. Scotty Too Hottie said genocide. Yeah, I think that can be summed up. That's the way it can be summed up. Absolutely. Hey, Bean made it. Hi, Bean. Ooh, October. Pumpkin. Thank you, Traveler. I didn't even see Traveler. Hey, Traveler. Hey, our Jeff Coat is here. Haven't seen you in a while, Jeff. Glad you could make it. Scratch, thank you for all the gifts. All right, so let's move on. We have, so this is really interesting. Melania Trump came out and gave a speech over the weekend. And she was talking about the children that she was able to help Putin save or find. And she referenced a term that is used in the Q drops multiple times. And that phrase was a back channel communications. Now, what do you think she was signaling with that, Dave? Do you think that she was exposing something that's been going on for a while? Do you think it was happenstance or coincidence?
Well, that means, that means the whole Putin narrative is out the door, right? They're actually working together. They're actually, moving forward for greater goods on the children and all that. So I think it's bringing it to light for sure.
Oh, look at James is here. He's lurking in the background, creeping. Thanks, James. Hey, Alex, can you find that drop that says, what if POTUS is working with Putin, Trump, Xi, and all that? Is that possible? I don't know how you would do it. What if, maybe?
April 8th, 2018, tracking good, relay back channel, fly high.
Well, there's one that actually says, it talks about what if POTUS is working with Russia, China, North Korea. I don't remember the drop number, but if you can look at that while I read some of these, that would be great. David Morales said he mentioned central casting today, but man and times keeping it real as only he can. Right. So disinformation and misinformation is necessary when you're in war, in my opinion. And I just had this conversation with somebody on the phone a few days ago, and he didn't want to hear what I had to say. And he said, well, how could Trump, if he's lying, that's just wrong. Well, and this person is a devout Christian. And I said, well, here's the thing. If you go to the Bible, how many times did God command people to lie? And the answer is yes. He commanded David to lie when his life was on the line. He commanded Ruth to lie when she was protecting the witnesses. So in my opinion, when it's life or death, misinformation and disinformation is justified when lives are in the balance. Alex, what do you think?
I'm busy looking up your.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dave. What do you think?
The only thing I'm able to find on that, Sam, is like looking at POTUS working or back channel. I told you that one, but this one brings up step one, hype an invented threat of POTUS working with Russians. It's talking about the FISA stuff. So,
well, the one that I'm referring to specifically says, what if POTUS is working with Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, and Putin in the background? And I believe that's exactly what's happening. Now, it's not something that's going to hit mainstream at this point, but I believe that that's what's happening. And I think that Melania's statement was kind of a signal to that, what's going on in the background. Dave, what do you think?
No, it's amazing on how much she actually is involved in the sense of stepping in front of Trump at the parade and after receiving the flag and all that. So I think it's just another thing to highlight it and to bring that information forward.
Yeah. Prebman said Q aligned with Trump. Absolutely. Q plus is what I would say. Mama Bear said that James is creeping in the background. Exactly. We're on to you, James. You can run, but you cannot hide. Hey, Helpful Honey just made it. Good morning from Minnesota, she said. Good morning, Helpful Honey. Glad you could make it. Big Bean said the capitulation tour was huge. Yes, I think that was just an outward show of what has already taken place and how China, Russia, North Korea, and the United States are working together. Barb7599 said, I remember seeing that one too. Exactly. Scotty Too Hottie. Of course, Saudi Arabia is part of that as well. David Morales said capitulation is the trump card, literally. I think you're right. That there's a lot of clamor and chatter about what is the trump card. Well, is it one single event or one single deal, or is it a series of things? Is how I look at it. I don't know that it's one single event. I think it could be a series of events or happenings or whatever you want to call it. But that's kind of my opinion at this point. It must be sponsor time. I guess it is because Alex is giving me the high sign. All right, well, let's do some sponsors here. So MyPillow, you guys, Mike is fighting like no one I've ever seen. And if you need some sheets, some towels, some kitchen towels, you name it. If you need them, get them from Mike. He could use the business. And he has supported us here at the Daily Dispatch since day one. So go to mypillow.com, use the promo code SAM, and you're helping not only this channel, but Mike and America, I dare say. Secondly, we have Neil Naturopathic. Dr. Neil has been a friend of mine for years. He developed these hair care products in relation to his cancer patients that he was treating so that they could avoid any toxicity from their hair care products. If you go to Neil Naturopathic, use the code SAM20, that's SAM20, you'll get a 20% discount on anything that you buy. And then, of course, Dr. Peter Glidden. Dr. Glidden joins us every Friday now for the health and wellness. Even when he's on the road at an airport, he still made it on the show with us on Friday. And so many of you took advantage of his membership on his website. I think that's a wonderful choice to make. If you go to my website, samshalhoub.com, Dr. Glidden's button is on the upper right-hand corner. Hit that button, use the code SAM, and you'll get a 30% discount. Alex, are we going to talk about meditation or cybersecurity today?
Cybersecurity, risktooltech.com, helping organizations with a roadmap to cybersecurity peace of mind. We have training for your staff, canned policies and procedures for you to follow, and assessments for you to judge where your company is on the risk spectrum. risktooltech.com.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. Let's see. Rick Sr. said it was snack time. Exactly. Teresa Faria, contractor, is here from Pennsylvania. Good morning, Teresa. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad you could make it this morning. Bean said, I saw Mike at the Trump rally. He was online behind me at the concession stand. He's a nice man. Yeah, he is a very nice man. Mama Bear said, I'm watching Trump live right now. He just signed the peace deal. Oh, I didn't realize that was live. I thought that was done yesterday.
Live from Egypt. He was in Israel earlier this morning and got on the plane, and within probably an hour, he was over in Egypt landing.
Oh, okay, got it. Excellent. Thanks, Mama Bear. Granny Marcia said, yes, I'm watching it too now. All right, well, let's move on. What's that?
You think he could get to Fort Knox then, couldn't you?
Oh, no kidding, man. Ooh, nice hanging lights. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. The gold signaling is off the charts. And maybe it was just a signal that gold is going to go up. Maybe it had nothing to do with Fort Knox. But if they do revalue gold, and at the numbers that I think are justified, that's a big, big number.
It would be, it'd be interesting to see what the amount of weight we have to what it's going to take to cover it. Is it 6,000? Is it 8,000? And is it 10,000?
Well, if you look historically in the last 10 years, most every major country has been repatriating gold for some time. Now, if my opinion is Trump was pulling the strings behind the scenes anyway. My guess is that here in the U.S., we've been repatriating gold as well. So what if it shows up? What if gold goes up to $10,000 an ounce, and all of a sudden we have 4 times the amount of gold that we thought we did? And all of a sudden they go from $40 an ounce to 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever the number is. And then along those lines too, with the silver prices, there for the first time in India, there are multiple companies reporting that they are not able to send the physical silver. That's just happened this morning, and I haven't been able to dig into it deeply yet, but I will for tomorrow. But I think that's something we have to keep an eye on. If they are taking money, banking the money, and then not delivering the physical asset, that's a big, big problem. But we'll have to see how it plays out.
That crashes a lot of things, doesn't it?
Oh man. Scotty Too Hot, he said, I hope they do silver. I've been stacking it for 25 years. I think that's a very, very wise choice. Yes, and Mama Bear said, plus all the hostages have been released. Yes, they have. I'm so glad to hear it. I Speak 17 said, just the silver to gold ratio back to 15-1 would be great. I mean, 15-1, what would that be? If gold's at 4,000 roughly, that would be, what would that put silver at, Alex? About 150?
There's no way to tell because I don't think it's a one, and I don't think there's an even ratio on that. If you look at the amount of paper gold and paper silver, going back to the previous point, if everybody calls their paper to task to deliver and you can't, I mean, isn't that fraud? You're saying you have it.
Does that mean you get your assets seized?
You get your ass something.
It kind of reminds me of that old movie, Trading Places, when those two old guys were trying to play, fast and loose.
The orange juice.
The orange juice, yeah, exactly. And next thing you know, they're homeless, living on the street. Boy, wouldn't it be great to see some of the bankers do that? Oh my God!
Didn't Eddie Murphy said he had to fart in the bathtub to make bubbles?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh! Hey, Drewby's here over on YouTube. Hey, Drewby. All right, so Alex, this one's going to you first. According to Disclosed TV, Qantas, the airlines. Oh, hold on a second. I got a message here. Qantas, the airlines, had a ransom being held for 5 million customer records. They chose not to pay it, and those 5 million records were released to the public. Now, this is the first that I had heard about it over the weekend. Alex, any idea on how something like this could take place?
Well, yeah. So there's multiple ways, but it's a ransomware attack. Insert risk tool. Somebody wasn't aware or cognizant when they clicked a button on their computer and they opened a file, executed a program, installed a game, did something, an employee somewhere clicked something that allows the ransomware in. Once ransomware gets in, it starts to run in the background. You don't even know that it's running on your computer. Your computer starts to get really slow because it's using all of your computing power to crawl out across your file system and then out across your network file system, and it starts encrypting the files one by one. That encryption key is held by the hackers. They then come back and say, hey, we'll give you the key to unlock all of your data if you give us X amount of dollars. What Quantum did is opted, most likely they had backups, so they were able to restore their data, and they're like, we're not going to pay you. The problem is, not only did they encrypt the data, but they were able to pull the data outside of the network. So their firewalls weren't configured properly to notice mass file transfers to, Lord knows where, over probably in India or Pakistan. And they got caught with their proverbial pants down.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay, they said, okay, don't pay. Then we're just going to release all the data. Now, I don't know. I haven't dug into what the data was. If it's proprietary information, that could be catastrophic. I don't know, again, what the data was. If it's personal information, then you're opening yourself up to lawsuits.
I knew a guy years ago that was one of the IT professionals for Target stores. And he told me a story. This is years ago. He said
HVAC.
What's that?
The HVAC system.
Well, no, I don't know. But he said that there was what he called a bot. A bot will go in and lodge itself somehow into the software. And then that bot can access information. And he said it typically happens with credit card information. And that usually the IT professionals will catch it within an hour or 2 hours, or, in a crazy case, 6 hours. He said, but they discovered a bot in Target software, this is years ago, that was there for 2 weeks. And he said it was cataclysmic as to what the effects could have been.
So most attacks go undetected on average 6 to 9 months. So they sit there and run in the background. If it's a malware or a keystroke logger, literally every type that you put on a keyboard is logged and sent back to the home computer. Social engineering happens that way as well. But, I don't know if anybody remembers Target having a data leak. They had a very large data leak. What happened was, we'll equate it to like your Nest environmental controls on your home, right? It's connected to the internet so that on your phone, you can manage the temperature in your home. Well, these HVAC systems were connected to the internet so that the HVAC companies could generate revenue by monitoring, these big commercial spaces. Well, the HVAC system is where that bot got in, and that's where the hack happened. Once it was inside the network, it was free to roam about the country and find what it could find. But yeah, the average attack goes unnoticed for, again, 3 to 6 months before it's even found.
Wow. Hey, Lace and Steel made it. Hey, Lace. I Speak 17 said $273 an ounce is what silver would be if it was a 15-to-1 ratio. Thanks, I Speak. Appreciate the info. Let's see here.
So it looks like Qantas data with 5 million customer records leaked by hackers. So that's PII, personally identifiable information. So most likely, like we've seen with the Equifax and other breaches of this nature, they're going to end up spending. It says 1 billion records, which was among 40 companies affected by the large breach. So they're going to be notifying all of the people that were affected, and hey, we'll pay for 1 year of credit monitoring, and it gets costly really quickly.
Wow. Rake said that so Israel has attacked Qatar while Trump was giving his end of war speech. Now, I didn't hear that. Is that a new development, Rake? That's the first that I've heard of it. Teresa said, for a business, that sounds terrifying to say the least. Well, I'm sure it is, yeah. David said, years ago, I heard via UK CID that Australia are often the guinea pigs for financial technology. Well, I think Australia, and this is just my opinion before anybody gets up in arms about it, but I think Australia, I think Mexico, Canada, New Zealand are probably going to be part of the United States, would be my guess. Now, does that mean that there isn't going to be crazy stuff happening over there? Well, until it actually happens, if it happens, we'll have to wait and see. Dave, what do you think?
Well, Qantas has a new saying: "We'll get you there safe, just not your information."
Exactly. Maybe we should patent or copyright that real quick.
Yeah, no kidding.
Layson Steele said, I just searched. I didn't find anything on the Qatar attack. Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
The most recent Qatar Israel information was back in September when they hit Doha, which hitting Doha is what actually kind of sparked the peace talks. So.
Yeah. I don't know about anything other than that. All right, well, let's move on. So Ron DeSantis over in Florida, the governor of Florida, he said, he was talking about property taxes. He said, and if I go to Best Buy and I buy a TV, I pay a sales tax, but I don't keep paying taxes on it year after year. Exactly. And we've talked so many times about the Communist Manifesto and how many points of that manifesto have been in effect here in the United States for decades. And he's absolutely right. It's ridiculous. You don't pay your property taxes and they can take your property? I don't think so. That's got to stop. Dave?
Well, it's interesting. DeSantis keeps hitting that and hitting that and hitting that. So obviously he's running with it, and hopefully it carries out throughout the United States for sure. But I think that's probably the plan. It's coming, and the abolishment of federal income tax, in my opinion, as well. Scratch 65 said property taxes are a scam. Absolutely, they are, and they always have been. Alex, any thoughts on this?
Taxation without representation. Where did that come from, folks?
Yep, exactly. And that was over a 3-cent tax on tea or something, right? Right. Oh, how far we have strayed from the founding fathers. But fortunately, it's coming back. U.S. foreclosure filings jumped 17% in the third quarter. The persisting trend of higher foreclosure activity could be a, quote, early indicator of emerging borrower strain, according to Zero Hedge. Now, it's been my opinion for some time that I was expecting some sort of a major correction in the stock market, some sort of a major correction, across the board, properties, real estate, and it hasn't happened. Then I started thinking in the last few months, well, maybe it's just going to be a slow transition. Maybe we're going to have a series of the 900-point drops that we had on Friday. I don't know what to make of it at this point. I've thought for some time that we're going to have a major correction, but so far we haven't. Alex, what do you think?
We watched housing prices go up and up and up and up, and it started with low interest rates. Lots of people got in and are sitting on their interest rates as one mitigating factor to all of it. And then you have 4 years of the previous administration, which has, and combined with COVID, we'll add that in there, has wrecked household incomes for the people that did buy houses at the 6, 7, 8%, they can't afford their mortgages anymore, and it's just a sign of how bad the dollar has lost its value. We'll just call it like it is. So
yeah, you buy a $250,000 home, and at the end of 30 years, you wind up paying $700,000 for it. That's unheard of.
Well, 2012, taxes, insurance, and house payment on a $300,000 property was around $1,600. Now, on a $200,000 home, you're paying $2,200, $2,500. Combined with the fact that you have these large real estate companies that are buying up all the houses, driving up rent prices. So, even in the Midwest, not necessarily where I'm at, but if you look at any of the larger towns up around KC and things like that, you can't rent a place for less than $1,200 to $1,800 a month. Rents have gone through the roof. A buddy of mine is getting into buying duplexes and renting them out up around St. Louis area, Cape Girardeau, and you can't touch a place for less than $1,500 a month. And if you take the minimum wage, $15 an hour, on a monthly basis, and subtract $1,500, it doesn't leave a whole lot for much of anything else.
Right, exactly. Devon Quas 45 said taxes are a scam. Absolutely, I agree. And there was another comment in here that I thought, oh yeah, Blue 999 TikTok said, oh gosh, I just lost it here. It moved too quick. It was, credit is a scam. It's true. You get rewarded on your credit score for incurring debt. And when you pay off that debt, you get penalized. It just happened to me recently with a major purchase that was paid off. It just blows my mind how ass backwards the credit system is. And then you have the government that is $37 trillion in debt, and yet the foreign countries are buying our treasuries like it's going out of style. That has to change. And I think it's going to. What do you think, Alex?
It has to change. This is the design of the system. You will own nothing and you'll be happy about it. This is what they designed the whole fiat currency around, is to crash things, to bring the purchasing power down so low, like what's going on in China, and them trying to send letters out to companies to basically stop any sort of other countries from selling to us. I mean, we're in the midst of some pretty serious economic crisis scenarios, and if this administration doesn't get us out of it, there's no getting out of it. So buckle up, Buttercup.
Yep, Dave.
Yeah, you guys were talking about they can't afford much more than what the housing costs and all that. We had a house in Arizona for a year and we sold it. And I said, hey, it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. He goes, oh, one pod would fit that. I said, okay, perfect. He showed up. He goes, you've got your furniture in your bedrooms. You got dressers. I go, yeah. I go, he goes, normal people just have, a box spring and a mattress on the floor. I go, that's not a bedroom set. He goes, well, no, they can't afford it usually.
Wow.
You got lawn furniture sitting in the living room, but the house is nice.
Wow.
Same concept.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I just don't see I've always been a proponent of assets that create cash. So I've been in businesses all my life. I couldn't even tell you how many businesses over the years because they produce revenue. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with real estate, but I think from a growth perspective, it's probably not the best choice. And that's just my opinion. Mama Bear said, Alex, I love the bunny ears. I know it's an eagle, but it did kind of look like bunny ears. I know.
What's up, Doc?
It kind of cracked me up, though.
That's an evil ass bunny.
Exactly. Joseph Orlando said over on YouTube said a rigged monetized system that benefits only the ruling class. Exactly, Joseph, and that is changing, and it's changing at a rate that I didn't see. I didn't think would happen in my lifetime, but it is. Benji 1959 said BlackRock got in huge. Yeah, they did. But I personally believe that BlackRock has already been seized by the Patriots. I don't think they control it anymore. I think the Patriots do. But again, that's just my opinion before everybody starts banging me on the chat here. Scotty Tuhati said silver's at $50.42. Now, I thought we were over 50 when you read it, weren't we, Alex?
Was it 51.95 is what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. Okay. Wendy said, yes, you do get penalized for playing off large purchases. Yeah, it's just
and gold's at 41.33. John Glenn.
John, come on, you've been awfully silent. I know he works, so he's in and out of the chat. But come on, John, you gotta respond to that. Chase said Central California $200,000 down. I'm not sure what that means, Chase. You might want to give us a little more information there.
Yeah, to come up with 20% of the house, 40% of the house.
Oh, you mean for a down payment?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
But
yeah, I'm not.
Hey, what was the bet with John Gwen on that, Alex?
I said that we'd see $5,000.
And he said no, right?
He did.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the over under on that.
Yeah. Chase said 800 square feet for $500K. And is that up in Northern California, Chase, or are you talking about here in Southern California? Brian asked, how's Mama doing, Alex?
We're doing okay.
Good.
It was a rough weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure. And also too, everyone, if you would keep my sister Golfer Kath in your prayers. She's in the hospital. She's doing well, but your prayers would be appreciated. Thank you. Pure Clean 62 said, wow, I heard silver may go to $4,000. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it certainly wouldn't surprise me if it did.
Please. Yes, please.
I think it's a Vegas trip at that point. Double it. Dave, what do you think?
I wouldn't worry about XRP at that point then. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what if XRP goes to $4,000?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, it's swimming pools and movie stars at that point, as far as I'm concerned.
Now you're just teasing James.
Swimming
He's
pools.
Still gonna have to buy a steak. I'm not worried about that. It's at $2.50 right now. But just not financial advice. But there's a reason that most lottery winners go broke because they don't manage it right. But if the silver market takes off, if the crypto market takes off, if any of these things happen, you can't run out and buy the Lambos. What you do is you take it and you put it somewhere that it's creating revenue. What works 24/7 365? Money.
Yeah.
People don't work 24/7 365. And if you can get a 3 to 5% return on the money and let it work for you, just think about that. I mean, the interest on $1 million, which we all know $1 million is not a lot of money in these days and times in comparison to what $100,000 was in the early 90s, right? But the interest off $1 million, you could live pretty comfortably pretty simple,
And you have to beat inflation too. So it's really a kind of a, you're going to make X amount of dollars in interest, but then you have to adjust for inflation. So you got to be at 6, 8, 10% to really make money.
Add 4%. Add 4%. $1 million is $40,000.
Yep. Exactly. Gen X Holtz, Rick Senior, Brian, Marianne Thompson, Scotty Too Hottie, Martini Time, Jerry BR549, Subi Q, Helpful Honey, Mama Bear, Deb, Traveler, everyone. Thank you for the prayers for my sister. She's doing much better, but again, thank you for the prayers. All right, let's see here. Where are we at on stories? Let's see. So Dan Scavino was announced to be the He's remaining the deputy chief of staff of the Trump administration and will also head the White House Presidential Personnel Office. No big surprise there. And then wherever you want to know what Trump is doing or thinking, watch Dan Scavino. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, he's been posting some interesting posts as of late. So, yeah, I watch him pretty close. He's always at every Trump rally and Trump appearance. He's like Trump's right-hand man, so no doubt about that.
Yeah, exactly. Lisa Maria says, I pray for everyone daily. I love you all. You are so sweet, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. Alex, any comment on Dan Scavino?
Dan the man. Press releases, mean tweets. I mean, you have to wonder how many times him and the big guy sit around a table and go, well, this would be funny if we put this out.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
He's the fly on the wall that we all want to be.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. So on X, I don't get much engagement. I go up 100 followers, I go down 100 the next day. I really should be at 100,000 followers on X based on what's happened, but for whatever reason, I'm being regulated. Well, one day, I don't know, not long ago, I looked and it said Dan Scavino followed me. And I'm like, and I'm followed by a lot of really big accounts, right? I don't know how the hell they found me or why they're following me, but they do. And when I got all excited and I clicked on the link at the profile, the guy had like 17 followers. It was just a fake account.
17?
Well, no, I'm just saying it was a low number. I used the number 17 for effect, but it wasn't actually 17. No.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of 17, did you see how many rare minerals that China's going to hold back?
No.
17.
17.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. Nice.
And I just laugh, you know.
I mean, every time I see 17, 107, 170, 71, it mirrored 17, it gets the nod that the Patriots are putting something out in terms of the narrative, at least in my opinion. All right. So, Benji, thank you for the prayers. Thank you so much. And Hitesh, thank you for the prayers. All right. John Gwynn said, Alex, I've got some dry aged crow for James and I to eat. Oh, come on now. Let's be positive here. You're positively going to have crow. No, just kidding.
Out of 4 pounds of beef jerky I made last week, I have one little baggie left.
Oh, thanks a lot for sending me a taste test. Jeez.
I told you.
I
Come
know.
out here, brother.
I know.
I don't need the California EPA up my backside because I didn't follow their rules for importing beef.
Exactly.
Hey, you guys see that 80-some% of the EPA is done?
Yep.
Yep.
EPA, the
86.
CDC. Exactly, dude. They're just slashing.
Nice.
I love it.
So nice. I'm rolling coal here right in this bean field as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Allie Mae just showed up. Hey, Allie Mae.
Hi, sweetheart.
All right, please don't call me sweetheart, Alex. All right, so let's talk. Disclosed TV said that flights were grounded at LA airport due to equipment outage over the weekend. What do you think, Alex? BS?
No. As antiquated as the system is, it doesn't surprise me. All the more reason that we need to get our systems up to date. All the money's been going to the wrong places for way too long, and maybe this is just another example.
And is it possible, because the government shutdown affects the air traffic controllers, does that mean that they're going to bring in military personnel to head up the air traffic control? And let's not forget that Trump just put a huge budget entry in to upgrade the air traffic control offices. Now, if that government shutdown affects air traffic control, which it does, there has to be a solution there. And could this be in effect what happened at LAX and they're just not telling us? Dave, what do you think?
Oh, that's an interesting take. I've never thought about that, but I agree with Alex. Let's it maybe bring to light and moving forward. You know, we've keyed on that subject many times, haven't they? So obviously there's something there.
Yeah. Kathleen Paschke, thank you for the prayers. Appreciate it. She also said, I used to make a lot of venison jerky and it disappeared like that. So good. I wouldn't know, Kathleen, because I haven't tried it yet.
You can't have just one piece. You have like one and then you're like, ooh, like that that's pretty good. I think I'll have a whole bag. So yeah, I had that 4 pounds of beef rendered down to 4 sandwich bags. And of course, our daughter had soccer this weekend, and
4 pounds went down that much.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
It I mean, it sucks all the hydration out of it, right?
Mhm.
But the brother-in-law and the father-in-law is like, hey man, I made my first attempt at jerky. You guys want to try? And next thing I know, I look over and the bag's freaking empty. I'm like, well, it must have been good.
Wow, no kidding. No kidding. All right, everybody. Well, that's all we have for today. And now I'm going to be signing off on X, YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble because we are dancing today. So I have to sign off on that on the Restream feed. But if you want to join the dancing, come over on TikTok. I'm just not sure how we're going to get around that on YouTube at this point. Unless, what do you think, Alex? Should we just go for it anyway?
I mean, your call, Sam. We've clicked the monetize link, and I think probably you have to do. I don't know if you have to do that every time. I don't know. That's totally up to you. We don't get that here on the TikTok. So if we're trying to monetize, we probably ought to turn it off.
Okay. All right, everybody over on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Hope you can join us then. And until then, we'll see you a little later.